What do you think of when I say Christmas? Uh, Christmas trees, Christmas lights, the Nutcracker, and snow. And sometimes I find myself saying, is that really the true meaning of Christmas? Let's figure it out. Let's try and figure out what the true meaning of Christmas really is. One way to do it, that a lot of times I do, is when I'm faced with this question or problem that I don't know, what if I tried explaining it in entirety to somebody else? A lot of times I find myself figuring it out. So let's say if somebody didn't know anything about Christmas traditions or stuff, well, how about explain that to them? Oh, I see. Sinterklaas. What you're saying, ancient American mythology tells us about this obese humanoid entity that flies at great speed through the night, only appearing one night per year, with long shanks of fur down his face, and antlered servants with glowing noses. The creature appears. He comes in through the fireplace, through the fire and flames. He comes down from the heavens with many gifts, such as Guitar Hero.
They play video games a lot. I was in a tournament too.
Ah! Get it! Go! Woo! Finally! Hold it.
Pure concentration.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing okay.
And he punishes his followers
You
by
rock.
giving them jagged chunks of rock. Santa gives you these presents because he's a very generous old fat man. Christmas is very complicated. Much folklore, archaic Russian ballet, Christmas cookies, reindeer and Santa. You light the outside of the house at night instead of the inside. Large meals, parties. You associate it with snow, even though many places that celebrate Christmas it does not snow. Candy canes. You bring in large evergreen coniferous trees inside the house to put in a stand and decorate with more electronics. You must be very rich to put electronics on your trees. Why is it that you do all these things? Now, if you take a minute to think about just how many traditions are deemed Christmas traditions. I mean, there's music deemed Christmas music that is completely annoying any other time of the year. But during Christmas, people seem to like it. What is the true meaning of Christmas? Well, there are so many of these, just the quantity, and the seemingly unrelatedness of all these traditions. It's because Christmas is amalgamation, it's a mashup of all of the winter festivals in the Western world, pretty much. And aside from Jewish people, pretty much everybody celebrates Christmas. So, what is the true meaning of Christmas? A question that is often asked at the time. Some people say you should put the Christ back in Christmas. But the truth is, the Christ was never really in Christmas. Most historians believe that if Jesus as a man did exist, he was not born on December 25th, ranging from ideas about why shepherds would be tending to their flocks in the middle of winter, to that the date of Christmas is likely to be something assigned by the Roman government to coincide with Sol Invictus, a Roman holiday celebrating the unconquered sun god, but also the unconquered Mithra, the unconquered El Gabal, and the unconquered Helios, over Sol Invictus's lifespan as a holiday. The Romans made Christmas trees, conifer trees that were decorated and brought into the house. Yule was a Scandinavian and Germanic holiday that involved the burning of a special Yule log that burned for a long time, the eating of lots of food, especially ham, and hanging mistletoe and putting and decking the halls with balls of holly. So if you're ever wondering what the true meaning of some holiday is, or why all these weird traditions all come together to play, human culture is completely uncontrolled and irrational in many cases. And people, humans, participants of the culture, are always blindly enthralled by what their current culture has to give them. It's not as if culture has any rationale behind it. Culture does not have some kind of rational mind behind it controlling it all. Cultures diffuse into each other and change, and we like to believe that we know what's going on, and we are as much a sheep to culture as we are to creating it ourselves, blindly celebrating and participating in whatever traditions there may be at the time. We will follow intently on whatever the zeitgeist's perception of beauty is, from making the breasts seem larger to flattening them, from making the waist seem tighter to being obese, to making the butt look big to making it look small, wearing makeup and putting belladonna drops in the eyes, having a stronger body odor as opposed to having an artificial one, wearing high heels. These are just some things that European culture has deemed beautiful or not, and the perception of beauty by culture is always changing as much as everything else in culture is changing. So if you're ever wondering what the true meaning of some holiday is, or why we celebrate all the things that we don't really believe in, plenty of atheists celebrate Christmas. You don't have to be Celtic, Gaelic, or Wiccan to celebrate Halloween. I've come to the conclusion that humans will be blindly and completely enthralled with whatever their culture, whatever their traditions have to give them. And that's just how it is. But is this a bad thing? I do not know. Is it a good thing? I do not know. I can only sit back and watch the show.